tell me about this event for next year. Since 2011 was the last air show, how did this come about?
If you go back to our military operations and the foreign military sales and the excitement with bringing the F-35s to Fort Smith, and we'll have F-16s with Singapore, it really created some momentum. And the energy around our military operations, not only at Ebbing, but Chaffee, we have really become a focal point for not only the region, the state, but also the country and the world with the military operations that we have here in Fort Smith. And Daren, you guys covered it so well, but in 2024, we had the great honor of being the Great American Defense Community. And so with that, we had a lot of excitement, and the Patriot Association was formed, which is a nonprofit organization to be able to work toward putting on an air show. And here we are announcing that in May 7th and 8th, we are going to have an air show here in Fort Smith and lightning over the fort. So it is going to be so exciting coming back to the community after many years, and just can't wait for 2027.
So what is going to be, give us a sense as to what people will see out there those 2 days.
So among those 2 days, we are going to have probably at least 4 hours of some of the best aerial performances that you can imagine, featuring military demonstrations, civilian aerobatics, historic aircraft, skydiving. Skydiving is going to take place. And we'll have many activities that will be STEM related for the children to interact, and then hopefully inspire them for careers with the military or aerospace. Of course, we'll have our own F-35s. F-16s will be present doing demonstrations, and our foreign partners, I know, will have an opportunity to showcase what they're doing. So lots and lots of activities.
As far as static displays, I'm assuming that the tarmac is going to be full.
So I haven't seen that yet. That will be forthcoming, but I can't wait to see what type of aircraft will be out there. We have quite an array already on static display out at Ebbing. Of course, the A-10 being a wonderful showcase and so many years with those folks right here in Fort Smith. But Daren, that's to be announced, and I don't know what will be available, but I'm sure it will be an amazing list of aircraft.
And I'm also assuming that it'll be announced later because I know you probably gotten asked already, Thunderbirds or Blue Angels.
That's a great question. So the International Council of Air Shows is who the Patriot Association applied to. They actually, along with the Air Force, chose the date of May 7th and May 8th. So they said, this is when we're going to allow you to have it. And as part of that process, they want us to hold an air show in 2027. We have made the request to either have the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds. That's in queue, and we're so hopeful that the ACAS is going to hear our request and have the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds back in the fort.
What do you think this does, not only for the economy of all of the River Valley, but just having it again?
Well, first off, I think, Daren, this really honors the men and women that have served and that serve our military. So first and foremost, it's an honorary opportunity to just once again recognize and highlight those that have served throughout the region in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and the entire area. The second thing we hope it does is just introduce thousands of visitors to the amazing operations that we have at Ebbing Air Base and the aircraft that we have here, the importance of the mission to our foreign partners and to around the world with the F-35s. And of course, just the mission in Ebbing in general is so critical to what we do every day with the Air Force and Air National Guard. So just highlighting that. The second thing, or the third thing, I think from an economic impact portion, if you go back and you read the data on 2011, 255,000 spectators, 5.6 million, and that's on 2011 dollars. And so, just bringing people in, creating that energy, patriotic, honoring our service members, and just bringing back the sound of freedom to Fort Smith through the air show. I just think it's going to be amazing.
I remember in past air shows, this opened up the opportunity for volunteers to have, booths out there to help out. I'm assuming that's all still going to be worked out between now and then.
Yes, we'll have more details on that. The Patriot Association will have, they have a phone number, they'll have a link and an email that we will be able to cascade to you, that you'll be able to send that out. So corporate sponsors, we already have several on board during the quiet phase of the campaign and building up. Now we're announcing it today. You're getting the great word out. So there's opportunity for sponsors, for volunteers, to just make this the greatest show that we can possibly do. And bring in people from all over the region. And Daren, I just go back to my childhood. Just think for just a moment. I get giddy and I feel like a kid around these jets, and you're out there at a restaurant or shopping and those jets come over. But for a child to be able now to have up close and personal with the static displays, with the STEM activities, to see the jets overhead, and then to be able to actually shake hands with pilots and maintainers and civilians that work on the base, to inspire them to go into careers of STEM, perhaps be a pilot one day and come back and fly from the fort. It's just so exciting for our community for just numerous reasons.
Trust me, I had our kids out there every chance I could get during an air show, and they still, they're in their 30s and they still talk about it today.
Yes.
All right, Eddie Lee, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure there's still way plenty more to plan out between now and then, but at least we got the word out.
So Daren, being an electric guy working for OG&E, this is the one time that I can actually say it's exciting to have lightning over the fort. So we're excited to have lightning over the fort and hear the sound of freedom, and all of our foreign partners, and just a melting pot of Fort Smith and Oklahoma coming together for such a great air show. And thank you for promoting this. And I know you'll be out there front and center, and we'll all be like little kids again, enjoying the show.